It's distinctive, an event and a class all by itself, both in adventure lore and in history books. A trail that once moved serum to save lives, 100 years later celebrates men and women still looking for a zest in life and a purpose to both live and to intimately know the North Country. The Iditarod sled dog race becomes their mission, a memory-making machine for those living with dogs. Dogs. If water makes a river, a dog promotes a passion. That passion flows without bounds here, an ultimate consuming commitment to lives merged. An arch with imperfections called a burl, a line reached, a destination, and an invitation to history. For those who pilgrimage here every year, that line represents validation. It constitutes hard work, and it symbolizes the core of the miracle that got them here.
Being out on the Iditarod Trail is just going to be like, for us, what we've been doing all winter. It's what we love to do. I'm always taking time to take in the sights. I live for this, you know? I don't live to win. I live for these dogs being healthy, happy, doing what they love.
We are doing it together. As we travel down the trail, I mean, that is something that they're into, they're excited about. When they crest that hill and they see a herd of caribou, I mean, they are loving that as much or more than I am. And that's why we do it, for that like excitement of what's around the next turn. But ultimately, I mean, we're in it for the joy of being a team and traveling together.
I was born in it, and I'd never known a life without dogs. I've always had 10 plus dogs, and you know, now we're here with 80, so it grew quite a bit in the time, and I got hooked on Iditarod, you know, from sprint mushing to mid-distance. I fell in love with distance. Distance was where I felt most at home.
For the fourth time in history, a lack of snow and poor trail conditions have moved the racetrack north and away from the Alaska Range. This race laughs in the face of adversity. Another 1,000-mile track to the north, and the destination remains known. Better than 30 teams, men, women, and dogs, former champions, and others dreaming of their place in history.
I'm a very competitive person, and I'd like to get more of these trophies that's behind me, and win the race again.
You know, there's guys like Matt Hall and Jesse Holmes and Jeff Dieter, and obviously Ryan, and Mitch is never going to come with a slouch team, and he's more experienced than any of those guys. So there's great teams, and I'm not going to, you know, have an ego big enough to say that I'm going to go out there and just run over those guys, but I think we can hang right with them.
You know you have a team that can win, though, right? Like this kennel's peaking.
They're ready. They're ready to give it their all.
Are you ready?
I hope so. I've been training for this my whole life, and I've trained harder than ever this season. I've gotten into jogging, running. I've trimmed off a lot of weight myself, and I'm ready to be right there with them, pushing, pulling, jogging the whole way.
The burn to win is crazy stronger than it's ever been in me, you know, and it's I don't want to say it's all I think about, but it's everything in my life is channeled towards that, and it's gonna happen. I have no doubt. I have no doubt in my dog team's capabilities. I mean, we all want to go against the best. That's the thing about people like us. We want everybody there. We're ready to rumble. We're ready to race anybody.
For many in this field, they arrive thirsty for this opportunity and possibly blind to what they could experience. It's adventure that they come for, but they won't do it alone. They will tackle this challenge with their best of the best.
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any money. I wanted to mush, so I went to the shelter and I got dogs that looked like they could pull. And that's how I got into it. Going from the shelter, trying them out, realizing that, oh, they're good dogs, and in many cases realizing they're really good dogs. That is a really kind of addicting path to follow.
Okay.
I mean, it's been really satisfying to see that happen.
What's the goal?
Finish.
Yeah.
That's the play. That's the get to know 'em. Yeah.
Do you dream of Rookie of the Year or anything like that?
No. For me, it's just to get there right now. I'm just So I haven't thought about that.
Ultimately, the goal is to finish, but I mean, honestly, I'm training myself and attempting to train this team to win the Iditarod. I mean, it's a race. I mean, I don't believe in fate, but I mean, like I said, first week I was here, I met my wife. I was introduced to four-time Iditarod champion and learned about mushing and just been on like this fast track, and everything just fell into place beautifully. And now we got our own land and our own dogs and our own Iditarod. Like, it's crazy.
These teams will plod their way down this trail, some with a little quicker step in their giddy-up. But at 7 or 8 miles an hour, it naturally creates time to reflect, rubberneck, and to converse.
I love talking to my dogs, so I'm talking to them the whole time, but I don't need to. Like, they know my movements, they know my body language, they know when I'm getting food, they know when the food's not ready yet, they know we're sleeping here, we're not. Like, just everything, that you're walking up to them, putting booties on, and one eyeball opens, and they're like, oh, hey, yep. They roll over and put their feet up, and they go back, but it takes over, repetition over and over and over again. And the farther you get down the trail, when you're spending, we train for it all year, every day, but when you're actually in that race, like, you don't leave those dogs to go inside and, spend the night like we do back home here. You're on the straw with them the whole time, and you're tight, yes.
The ability to go across the Arctic on a dog team, it's pretty freaking cool.
It's awesome, yeah. And our appreciation for being able to do it definitely probably has grown, and yeah, it may not always be an opportunity as the same opportunity as it is today, but dogs and the trail and adventure will always be out there. But yeah, at a certain point, you got to just sit back and just be so thankful to even start the race and to be able to travel that trail and just appreciate that what it is.
Stopping everything else in life and just focusing dogs, eat, sleep, breathe dogs. And, I've lived dogs my whole life, and it starts early and ends late. And when you're in that moment and that getting under that arch, there is no feeling like it. Traveling that country, and there's stories on the way. I ran a very conservative first year, and I wanted to find out if I loved distance, and I did. I truly loved distance. It was an experience of a lifetime.
As you peer in on these teams over the coming days, admire the landscapes, get lost in the grandeur, imagine that bite of the cold, but find warmth in that purpose that brings them all here. It's nice to win. It's better to know when you arrive at a place you've never traveled before.
It's a journey, and the bond that you thought, oh, I've had this dog for 9 years, we're so bonded and strong. It's amazing how it intensifies in that 9-day race. You're like, how could I even get any closer to this dog? I've owned him his entire life, but there is something about that journey that you shared together, definitely something special that happens out there, and that's part of the magic of the Iditarod Trail. There's energy, there's spirits, I don't know what it is, but you feel something different out there, absolutely.
It brings tears to my eyes what they do. All the training and the lifestyle we've been living, I was just sleeping in the straw with them last night, in a pile of dogs, and our bond is so tight, and our hunger to win is their hunger to win is, I think, more intense than mine sometimes, And so it just keeps us, maybe I'm down one day, they're up. Maybe they're a little down one day, I'm up. We build each other, we lift each other up, and we're gonna come to that finish line a team and on fire, and with passion for every mile that we get to live this great blessing.
The way that I feel about one of my main leaders, Bravos, he ran his 6th Iditarod this year, the way that I feel about him after every race that goes by, the experience that we share, the relationship that grows with us, words really can't describe that. It is a bond unlike any other, including family members. I'm traveling thousands of miles with this dog. We're traveling 1,000 miles in 9.5 days. That bond is just, I mean, it's amazing. And so, and that's just one dog. And I'm lucky enough to have, but I've got 20 dogs that are, I mean, closer than any of my family members. Sorry, Mom. But that's just, I mean, we spend every day together, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm the most blessed person in the world, I feel.
Those dogs' happiness and well-being and all the lessons that they've taught me along the way with the lifestyle we live, that's winning. These dogs are incredible. They've taught me, you know, to be humble, to be hardworking, to have gratitude and enjoy all the small things in life.
53 years. What do you say? It's time to saddle up again. Let's go to Nome. Just another winter day in the downtown of Alaska's largest city. But barking dogs give it away. A calm energy that will soon explode in these streets.
I'm incredibly calm. I'm ready to go. In fact, my preference would be we were hitting the trail for real right now.
I don't think I'm too nervous yet. I'm excited. I'm ready to be on the trail. All the events and the people and stuff can be a little overwhelming sometimes, but it's kind of fun getting to talk to people from all over.
Today is about the fans and celebrating the dogs. They get to see everything, bird's eye view of what we've put together for this year. I think it's great. I hope as many people line the streets as possible.
Welcome to the Iditarod 53.
Snow has been trucked in to create a trail for just a few miles. It's called a ceremonial start, a yearly ritual now, to display the state's official sport and a breed of dog that is both revered and woven through hundreds of years of existence in the Arctic.
3, 2, 1, go! Yay! I've been working towards Iditarod for about 6 years.
But now you're here.
But now I'm here, which is crazy. I can't believe it. Go! I think I'm a little more nervous about ceremonial start than official.
We're not exactly a spectator sport, so this is the only opportunity for us to be a spectator sport.
We've been so busy, I haven't had any time to be nervous or anxious or anything yet. So I'm sure tomorrow, once we're getting ready, and packing the sled, all that will start to hit, I'm sure.
It's an amazing feeling to be out here and feel the support for the sport and show that these dogs are so well cared for, and these dogs are our family, and we love them, and we love the fans, and we love all the support for the race.
Keep coming! Keep coming! Keep coming! Good!
Excitement, energy. There's so much energy all around on the streets. It's unbelievable.
Go!
My wife, she wanted to do this, and I'm like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it.
Ah, feels awesome. Nowhere else I would rather be right now.
Expecting to see snow and dogs and excitement.
What's on your mind right now?
I heard there's barbecue down the road.
Oh, this is all fun. We're gonna have a blast for 1.5 miles, and then we're gonna be at Sullivan Arena.
Literally 1.5 miles. Normally they run 13 miles, but a lack of snow has forced changes to the 53rd Iditarod.
I'm feeling pretty focused, happy to be here, and ready to get out there again.
It's just real exciting. This is my second time doing this, and it's just a thrill every time.
There are thousands of people here to watch this exhibition, like they have for better than a half a century now. A lot has changed. The smiles and the excitement haven't.
It's pretty incredible for a woman from Texas to be in a sled in Alaska.
The mile and a half will end quickly, and then these teens will use trucks and trailers to transport the mission nearly 500 miles to the north, to a town called Fairbanks. Fairbanks, Alaska's second largest city, still better than 100 miles below the Arctic Circle. But winter can bake here from late October until April, and it's as dependable as that golden sunrise. The start line is built, the teams arrive, and look forward to days of torturous unknowns and fleeting moments of joy as these dogs will display their purpose and genetic mission.
If this year's race had a theme song to read, what would it be?
I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. I'm back from outer space. That look upon your face. I will survive.
This route I'm really excited about because there's snow. I get the butterflies and nervous and excited and happy and anxious and just feel everything, and then just the dogs give you that same energy.
The move to Fairbanks means that these 33 teams will only see hills on this route, and that won't happen for nearly 800 miles, as the Alaska Range, or the mountains, have been circumvented and exchanged with river miles.
Yeah, it's longer, but we're not going up and over a mountain range, so is it really longer? Probably not. You know, sit on your trail. You know you're going down the river for hundreds of miles. You probably should have a way to carry your dog or two. Because who wants to be on the break the whole way? I'd rather be on the break a little later.
I think it's really neat that on the 100th anniversary of the Serum Run, we are retracing those steps. That's pretty cool. We knew it was going to be an adventure either way. I am a little bummed not to see like the crossing the Alaska Range, but this is obviously the right call.
Well, it was pouring in Willow yesterday, so this is good. I'm pretty happy to not be in my rain jacket today.
It is winter. There is snow, but that sun will radiate heat. For these canines, it will be warm.
These guys are bred to run at, I mean, I always say their happiest temperature is minus 0 to minus 20. These temperatures can be a little bit more difficult, especially on the river where you just have full sun and the albedo effect from the snow just radiates all that heat. So even though it's maybe 35, 40 degrees, it feels like it's, 60 out there.
The last start, it was 40 below here when we took off, and then that first night I also frostbit my face real bad. So I'm happy that it's warmer. This reminds me of temperatures back home that we're used to, This is really nice. The dogs are gonna really enjoy this.
There he goes, Ryan Reddington, the first of two former champions on this year's trail. Let's hear it for him as he goes down the chute.
I'm bringing the winning team. You'll see once the race begins and throughout the race, they're going to stand apart from the others.
All right, there goes Nick Seeley on a Little Rock 53.
fans and media, you like to talk about the stats and whatever. It isn't. It could be the first or the like Dallas is sixth. But if you're going to be in it, you might as well try to win it. Otherwise, I mean, I've seen the trail and I can mush in good scenery somewhere else. But
I think everybody assumes because it goes to Fairbanks that it's going to be easier.
no, this is going to be a hard race.
This is for real. When the teams leave the start line, the clock begins, the smiles and nerves will crescendo, the applause and the cheering will quiet. But for now, this is the moment they've all been working for.
One run at a time, pretty much. I got a good plan to Tanana and to Ruby, and we're just, if things go smooth, we'll stick to that plan.
I haven't heard too much about the trail, so I don't really know. I'm just assuming it's in and good.
I have little rainbow trout, and they think that's crack, and they love it. And it's really a good tool to keep them hydrated. And then, fortunately, they drank really, really well 2 hours ago, and I'll water them again before we take off, so they're hopefully very hydrated as we leave from here. And then, the good thing here is that there's a lot of snow here.
Got all loaded up last night, ready to go, and was feeling good. And truck broke down as soon as we left the driveway. And so started calling all around. Luckily, our neighbor Lisbeth was able to give us a ride. The truck still broke down in the middle of the road. So still haven't had time to process anything because we've just been going nonstop for the last 2 months. And I'm so excited to just get out there because it's been way too much to get here right now.
They're immediately on a river, the Chena River. It's lined with thousands of well-wishers. These teams will hardly be off a river now for the next 700 plus miles. This will be the longest Iditarod in its 53-year history. In fact, it will be the longest sled dog race ever. Well over 1,100 miles. These teams are off to Nenana, 52 miles from Fairbanks. The what will seem like endless river miles ahead, it's Manly. And then they hit the Yukon River in Tanana, the longest stretch of the race to Ruby. They continue going down this infamous river to Galena, Nulato, Kaltag, where they would traditionally get off the Yukon. They now take a left turn and head for Eagle Island as they begin a 350-mile loop to the community of Grayling, Anvik, Shagaluk, back to Grayling, the official halfway point, by the way, another long run to Eagle Island, and then finally it's Kaltag again, and it's back on the traditional route to the Bering Sea coast, communities of Unalakleet, and then Shaktoolik. It's 40 plus miles on the sea ice to Koyuk, along the coastline to Elam, and then it's White Mountain, and then the final 77 miles to the finish line in Nome. The day begins to wane, the sun gets lower in the sky. When it's warm, it's a great time to stop and rest a team. As some know, they're just hours now into a 2-week journey.
It's a beautiful day to be out here. Dogs are happy. As you can see, we just got parked down to camp, and for about 20 minutes, they were saying, we don't want to camp, we're ready to keep going. They were going pretty nuts, especially with all the bikers and a couple teams passing me, but they're finally starting to mellow out a little bit, settle down. So we'll take a quick nap here and then continue on down the trail.
Feeling good. As good as we can for the first, 50 miles or so, right? First 50 always feels good, right?
You're a troublemaker. Yes, you are. I'm having a blast. That was a beautiful run with the sun. A little hot, but yeah, dogs are doing good, so we're happy.
Nenana, historically a mushing haven, 50 miles south of Fairbanks. They prepare for the leader. Hundreds of volunteers make this event happen each year, including an army of veterinarians.
The beautiful athletic dogs that are so excited, they have smiles on their faces, and it's so neat to see how all these athletic dogs, how excited they are. You got to come up and experience how excited they are, how they jump in the air, and how they're just really enjoying life.
All right, are you going to say you want?
Yeah, I need my truck. Where's?
Hey, you go through that chute right there.
Okay.
Jason Mackey is the first to arrive. His father won the race in 1978. A brother, Rick, won in 1983. And another brother, Lance, won this race 4 years in a row. His niece, Brenda, is second in the Nenana. She's running with a heavy heart. Her father, Rick, the 1983 champ, has passed a few months prior. She was raised in this town.
Bib number 9.
You going through?
I'm gonna go park.
This race meant a lot to him, and it's meant a lot to your family. And it seems in a weird way that it's apropos for you to be running this race this year. Do you think that the stars aligned in some crazy way to put you here?
Potentially. I think it makes you think about things in a lot different way when you lose people that are close to you. And it's been a pretty tough winter. It's been a pretty tough 4 years.
If you've come straight from Fairbanks, it's a 5 to a 5.5 hour run to Nenana. It's been warm. It's time for a rest.
You want to go or stay?
I'm staying.
Okay.
Hey!
Staying again.
I'm gonna stay.
Are you staying or going?
I'm gonna stay for a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, Nenana! Woo! Yeah! Nenana! Oh.
Are you staying or going?
No, I'm going.
Okay.
The day is now growing old, the sun encroaching that horizon. The sounds of the trail are limited to the jingle of collars and pats of feet. Those that went through Nenana are camped a few miles past this first checkpoint.
This was my plan, to come right where I'm stopped. It's a long ways to Nome, and I get that, but I was surprised not to see. I mean, Brenda pulled in right behind me into Nenana. I mean, I don't know where everybody's sitting. Did they stay? I mean, whatever. They're running their race, I'm running mine.
Body language, I stop on the hour and I walk up the line and I look in their eyes. I make that eye contact and make sure that they're just got that twinkle in their eyes still and they're having fun. As long as their tails are wagging and they're screaming to go, I'm gonna be moving.
750 miles of river, 80 miles of dirt. I probably would have leaned to the 80 miles of dirt, but it's easy to say now that we're on a comfortable river and no risk of breaking our legs. This is gonna be a long race.
The sun is set. Those resting in Nenana are now pulling the hook.
Saeed, ready?
It's time to run through the cooler temperatures of the hours ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting to be around other dog teams in a race like this. Probably all get bunched up at the start and spread out, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I think at one point, including my own dog team, there was like 7 dog teams in sight, so yeah, it was pretty fun.
Dogs did absolutely phenomenal. It was a bit warm out there, so I was stopping and letting them roll in the snow probably every 30-45 minutes or so, keep them hydrated and try to keep him as cool as possible. When that sun was beating down, it was pretty warm for him. That's definitely not what we've been training for up here in Fairbanks.
It's not a checkpoint, but rumors are a good meal and hot water, making Tolovana Roadhouse a great place to stop and rest on their way to Manly, the next checkpoint.
Man, my feet hurt from standing on the brake and drag so hard. I think this is just the beginning of painful feet.
We train at well over 10, so this team is not accustomed to going at lower speeds, so especially on a hard packed nice trail like this.
It's 6:30 Tuesday morning, not even 20 hours into the race, and Jason Mackey hits Manly, mile 137. He'll give him a long rest and wonder where everyone is.
Nobody else is here?
No, you're the first one.
I am shocked that I was the first one in here. I left Tolovana, and when I asked how to get out of there, I said, wasn't there teams parked right there that left? She said 2 had left. I have no idea where they were camped.
Well, you told me you'd been training in hills and you didn't know what they do when they got to the easy pulling.
I'll tell you what, I'm not kidding you, Bruce. I've just literally 2 feet on the brake, just sitting on my butt all day. Never let up. And they just keep getting stronger and faster and stronger. It's almost scary.
With this temperature change, I mean, it's gone from the mid-30s, high 30s to 9 degrees. That's a freeze-thaw cycle. This could be a really fast trail for the teams. It sets it up, and the dogs cruise across it, and that's why the mushers are just constantly trying to slow them down. I know it sounds a little odd to be in a race and trying to slow down. These dogs just want to run. They love being out, but if you always got in your vehicle and it was pegged to the floor and you're going 120 miles an hour all the time, things start falling apart.
It's nearly 2 hours later when the 2023 champion Ryan Reddington arrives. With over 1,000 miles to go, you can already see different race strategies evolving.
Welcome, I'm glad to see you. Are you staying with us, or will you be going to
Ready?
Ryan's a champion. You can't doubt him, but I've been racing dogs with Ryan since he was a kid. He ain't going very far.
Hi.
Manly.
Thanks. I'm gonna go through. Let's go.
As the leader hits Manly, we jump back to Tolovana. The adversities that this race seems to oddly embrace are already begging for one musher.
Broke a runner on the sled, and the trailer that I got is completely busted. Figured be running a lot of river miles would be flat and easy, and it really wasn't too technical. I'm real upset how we broke a runner doing that. Get into Manly, and I think I got a sled coming there that we can swap out hopefully. If not, it's going to be a long race.
What a phenomenal place to come into. There's a wood stove, there's a big meal, there's like fantastic people just like wanting to help. I mean, like, wow. You know, I of course thought a lot about my dad running through Nenana, and he actually put the trail in when I ran through here before in a race called the Mail Trail. So of course I'm thinking about him going through that area. But I mean, I think about my family's legacy and all the miles they've traveled. I mean, Uncle Lance and I have parked here together, and you know, yeah, lots of good times.
Your dog, Pete!
Good to see you. Welcome to Manly.
You will notice teams now stopped and camped over a 40-mile stretch. A few hundred miles will separate these teams by the time they find the end of river travel.
I went about as long as I wanted to out of Manly. I wanted to maximize that cool morning air. This is a good distance from Tolovana and a good distance to Manly. I wanted to go about 15 miles out of Manly. So.
Just listen to music and enjoying the beauty of the race and the country that we're in here.
I feel like I'm looking at a dog team more than I'm looking at the terrain, and that's changing all the time, so it doesn't really matter to me what, if I'm on a river or somewhere else.
What are you looking at when you're looking at the dog team?
Look at every step they take, every movement that they make. Sounds like a song.
As the sun begins to drop again in the sky, the community of Tanana is next. 202 miles into the race, and at this point, it's not appropriate to say they have been easy miles, but typical. But that's all about to change. 12 miles prior to the checkpoint, what is known as a blowhole is raging. It's a funneling of wind common on the Bering Sea coast, but less so on these rivers. A major difference. That is not snow, my friends. That is sand. Those waiting for the leaders in Tanana have no idea what the teams are encountering out there in the dark.
Dog team! Oh! Welcome to Tanana.
Well, wasn't that a ride? Sandblasted.
Hey.
Great, Ron's out there, Paige.
Thanks.
Welcome to Canada. Are you staying or are you going
I am
through?
going to stay here, yeah. Ready? Let's go.
Yeah, these guys are tired and we're going to stay here for a long time, so just so you guys know.
Oh, there we go. There's a cutie. Hi, buddy. Welcome to Tanana. You gonna be here for a while?
I am.
Okay.
I'm going to go through. I'd like my vet book signed.
Why the decision to go on? Just with
Just breaks up the other run better, so it's not such a long run. Makes up the runs better time of day for the other runs. Hey, let's go. Dog team!
Hey, straight. Tall.
How we doing?
Good, how about yourself?
Good. Welcome to Tanana.
Thanks. I'm gonna pack up some bags. I wanted to get a vet check. Yep, I'm going through.
How you doing, Jesse? Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
Feels nostalgic coming into here. Going by the old man's place.
I bet.
Probably wouldn't be a dog musher without him. Boy, it was pretty wild out there.
I bet. Yeah.
Hey, that's crazy when they made the trail, huh?
Well, there's like no markers.
Oh yeah.
I spent about 45 minutes around out there. Yeah, it's just like a dead end of markers.
Oh, I'm good, thank you. Oh.
I guess it got worse once I went past.
It wasn't blowing when you went through it?
It was blowing, but it hadn't created a sandstorm. I could see off to the left there was another sand, or I don't know if it's just a river bar or sandbar or whatever, but I could see it taking off. But it was blowing at my back, you know. But I guess it got horrendous.
I didn't know it was a dust storm, but you could tell it was really windy through there. And it was like the sky was super, super dark, and it just got darker as it went to the ground. So I stopped about 100 yards out of it, and then we got out there and it was like Mars. Just sand and wood debris and just river, you know. My dogs have been training on pretty icy conditions, and I was feeling pretty confident about things like that, but they were slipping and sliding, and yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's on this night that one begins to realize that eliminating the Alaska Range and all of its trials and tribulations from this trail and moving the start line to Fairbanks, one cannot assume that this will be the easier, softer way. It's near Tanana where these teams become one with the Yukon River, a notoriously grueling stretch. Only this year, they have an added 650 miles of it to negotiate.
Well, that's not snow, and it's filling my mouth up with grit, and I was like, all right, that's sand. I was like, this is a nice treat, it's something different, and got into it, couldn't see a reflector, so just followed some drag marks that went left and got blown around and jumped over a couple trees and stumps, and then finally set a hook on a stump, and it was an adventure for sure. Getting beat up a little bit, but it was a good one.
It was fun, I guess was one way to put it. It was actually worse. It wasn't blowing like super hard, but it was kind of to the back. So the sand was actually like swirling into your eyes. So I mean, it was only a 15-mile-an-hour wind. I don't know. I mean, it's nothing like out on the coast, but on your back, it was like the sand was swirling in the eyes. And it was like, ah! I think looking down for skag marks, and there's the trail. Gee! So yeah, it was kind of fun. Woke me up, that's for sure.
And as teams dust off in Tanana, there'll be others negotiating that black blizzard for hours to come. As the sun lights the theater, another day has begun on the Iditarod Trail, and the teams out of Tanana have started the longest run of the race. It's 120 miles to Ruby. Most will break it up into 2 runs. They're in a rhythm with their teams, and they're already feeling the grind of this trail.
So no regrets. I know it was kind of a last-minute decision to join, to sign up. You know, like, are you wishing you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm tired, and sure, I would like to sleep more. Sounds real nice about now. You know, at the end of the day, we're still out there running our dogs, and I love running dogs, and every run is different, regardless of the scenery, regardless of the hardness of the terrain. I have more podcasts downloaded this year than ever before, but that's probably the difference.
Slow trail for the first 4.5 miles, and then it got really good. It's warm, but it's good to.
So why did you choose here to take a rest?
I think it's about halfway from here to Ruby, so good spot, I thought.
How we doing?
Absolutely swimming, like they were just punching, rolling, trying to get a grip. You know, you could just, like, they weren't running as a strung out line. They were like, trying to find a good way to, they want to speed up. So they constantly try to do that, right? And then, out of nowhere, came the brown desert. I don't know what that was. That was wild.
there's a lot to be had still. So we're still hoping for more challenges. You know, this boring, monotonous trail has been a mental fry for a little bit, but then you remind yourself, you're like, all right, as soon as I fall in a funk, the dogs fall in a funk. So it's important to stay positive and just have fun with it, because we're all out here living the dream. We're happy. The dogs, they don't care, truthfully. And I love watching their gait. And honestly, being on the river, it gives me something just to hyper focus. I don't think I downloaded enough audiobooks though for this river running. So we're working on that. So if you got suggestions, we'll take them.
It's in the daylight that you can best see the sandblast area. Once again proving that these dogs are genetically different. They find joy in this, while the mushers hang on for dear life.
I started noticing the ground started turning to sand and rock, and then before I knew it, the wind was just screaming and howling, and we're on glare ice and going over big sand dunes, and we jumped over a tree and just got on glare ice. The lead dogs got blown over, some dogs in the team were getting blown around, the sled was just sliding sideways, and I actually got 2 dogs named Rock and Ice, and they had taken their booties off just before we got there. I figured they knew what they were doing, so I left them off, and sure enough, the Rock and Ice are standing out on the rock and ice, and everybody else is getting blown around, and they were just 2 70-pound dogs standing up there holding the team steady for us. So it was pretty cool, yeah.
That put me in a lot better mood, going through some crazy stuff and having the sled slide, and the trailer kept flipping, so I was kind of sitting down and trying to hold that over going over glare ice. And the dogs did great though. That's kind of why I do this, is just seeing them go through crazy intense runs like that, where they build their confidence in themselves and myself as well, and just furthering that trust. And especially Miss Y, she's becoming such a good lead dog. She still needs work on a lot of things. She's still young, little things, but she's getting real good at going through the wind.
All the trail markers have been knocked down, so you were trying to find them laying on the ice, which is hard to do, and then it was like a snowstorm but with sand, so your headlamp was just reflecting all of the sand particles, so it's hard to even see any distance with your headlamp. So that all added to the fun of it.
For veteran Jeff Dieter and a contender to win, his race may already be coming to an end in Tanana.
The trail just is not lining up for my team and my training. I think we anticipated that maybe the river would be a little bit, faster travel, not for all sections, but it is very sugary and punchy in some areas, and that's just kind of taking a toll on my dog's physical health. So, it's possible this might be our finish line. I want to make sure that we go down the trail in style, and I don't want to be just making it. I've had some races like that before where I've run 8 dogs from the halfway point, and it's fine as long as those 8 dogs are solid, and it's been great. I've had some really fun times running some small teams in Iditarod, but I don't want to do that in this race, especially with this trail, and especially if those 8 dogs are not 100% physical health.
The Yukon is nearly 2,000 miles long, and for these teams, the coming days will feel like they are traveling all 2,000 miles. It's a mile wide in spots. There is a sensory void while traveling this river. The dogs will be running in milk looking for any source of excitement, as they may not be near a tree now for hundreds of miles.
I think that they are primarily going to get bored and lose their motivation if I am.
You don't think that the 700 miles of the lack of stimulus, like, they will stay the course?
I think my dogs will very much stay the course if I stay the course. I mean, I happen to really do think that. Jesse and I joke about that my dogs are the Flatlanders.
We're sitting here complaining about adversity of wind and trail that we signed up for, whenever people in real life have such adversities, health adversities, you know, emotional adversities, financial challenges, and here we are getting to be out there and we want to complain about 800 miles of river and flat and boring. No. I say every bit of this is exciting and that we are blessed to be able to do it.
When the team finds Ruby, they're 319 miles into the race, and it's clear by now that the river will not be hard-packed and fast. It's going to be slow and relentless.
Oh, guys, whoa.
Are you leaving or staying, Paige?
I'm gonna stay.
So I know you're probably aware from looking at all the different data that you and one other person obviously have the fastest run times.
I do not know that.
Yeah.
Is it Jesse?
Yeah.
No coincidence where we live.
You just think that your training made it more well-rounded for what's being thrown at you?
Yeah, I mean, that was the interesting thing, like, I was thinking today, is that trail was bottomless, and these dogs didn't have any problem with that. They were, like, tough and durable in those conditions, and then when it's hard and fast, we're flying. And so I feel like it's not often that you have both of those in the same team, and I'm not surprised that he also has that, because we have great conditions this year. I have to push myself, and I am prepared to do that. Last year, I was not 100%. I had one knee that served me well. My mental finish line was in Nikolai last year, and this year I'm so far 100%, and the dogs are 100%, and yeah.
I gotta be honest, that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
For many teams in this race, it's been a tough training season. A lot of ice and a little snow. Little resistance during those training miles. But for Paige and Jesse Holmes, they live in a part of Alaska that's had a lot of snow, and their team seemed seasoned to the conditions.
Staying there?
Yep. Been doing 5-hour rests since Toledano Roadhouse, and it just was an instinctual thing. I was thinking 1,100 miles, the southern route of the river twice. Maybe I put myself out of this thing by doing this, maybe not, you know, but I felt like the smart thing to do was that. And, you know, there's little signs and things I've seen too with the dog team that just make me want to be conservative. Now all of a sudden it paid. I was 23 miles behind Paige this morning, and I don't know, I'm like 8 behind her now. So obviously the training on the Denali Highway is paying off for the top 2 teams.
Are you staying or leaving?
I'm staying.
Okay.
Ready? Oh, no.
Hello. Dogs. That hill is cruel.
The teams will have 3 mandatory stops during this race. A 24-hour rest that can be taken anywhere. An 8-hour rest somewhere on this Yukon River, starting once they get to Keltag. And then an 8-hour rest when they arrive in White Mountain, 77 miles from the finish line.
You ready, Hercules? You ready, Bronco? Come alive.
The sun is again imminent.
You see a light?
Okay, dog team.
The leader of the 53rd Iditarod is Paige Drobny, and she is the first to find Galena. It's 6:30 in the morning.
Hey, welcome to Galena.
Hi.
It's been a better than 6-hour run, and she's decided this is where she will stop for 24 hours. It's mile 369.
We have a long ways to go still, so I stopped here so that I didn't run in the heat of the day again. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be cooler, so I'll be able to leave here early in the morning and have a nice cool run. There's a long ways to go, but these guys are doing great, and they deserve a long rest today, huh?
Do you feel like your team is championship quality?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I signed up this year. Signed up only like a month ago, and because I feel like, yeah, they're fantastic and deserve to come do this, huh? Yes, good boy. Yes.
The semblance of a lead pack is already forming. Matt Hall is nearly 2.5 hours behind Paige when he arrives, and he too will stay.
All right. Welcome to Galena, Matt. 907.
I'd like to pull over somewhere for 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
Drop a dog and
okay.
Back up and go.
All right.
What's your plan?
I'm going to stay for a little bit.
Jesse Holmes is the first to leave. It's obvious that his race plan is different than the others.
Got a beautiful dog team and a great musher and trying to win it. So he's making moves that works for him and his team, what he thinks is best, and I'm rooting for him. It's a long ways to go to Nome. I'm just playing it conservative, and we'll see later on how we are. Like I said, we got a long ways to go to Nome, and we'll just take it one day at a time.
Just concerned about the time of day. If I took my 24 here, I felt like I'd be leaving at the wrong time of day. That set me up for a bad run rest schedule, so made the decision to run to Nulato. I thought it'd be better for my schedule.
Michelle rested for 4 hours. She's back on the trail. Holmes and Phillips are the only teams out of Galena.
I'm not that much of an analysis guy. I just feel like I'm doing what I should do, and if anybody's very far ahead of me, I can't do anything about it anyway. So, I feel like the extra mileage is going to really make a difference. So many teams are kind of out of gas at the end on what's really a 950-mile race, and now it's 1,100. So I think there's a lot of race to happen yet. Apparently, I rested more early than a lot of people did. I don't regret it. But you can only do what you can do,
Meanwhile, back in Ruby, the first rookie, Emily Ford, is off to a great start in this race.
Yeah, that stretch was like just a test of like mental tenacity, I guess, for you and your dogs. I tried to run at night as much as possible, so they're just looking at what's ahead of them, or else they just look around and they realize it's like, this is it, Mom. I'm like, yeah, this is all that's here. A big old river.
Jesse Holmes is on a schedule that will take him far down this trail before his big rest. He is trained for this, and he is executing it, putting him in the lead.
And I've done this 7 times. It's not about coming here to win, it's coming here to perfect this for me and, feel satisfied that I'm doing it, to the best of my ability. So this is feels so good this year because I feel like I'm putting all these pieces together. And where I finish, it doesn't really matter,
Back in Galena, Paige Drobny has arrived indoors. The first major award is given on this trail here. It's called the First to the Yukon Award.
Here's to Paige Drobny and First to the Yukon. Congratulations.
Hey. Some cash and a gourmet meal prepared by chefs, and she dines with friends.
I was so appreciative, that those folks came out and provided that, and also my good friend Fred Huntington. It was great to be able to spend some time with him a little bit too. There, he's always, every time I come through Galena, he's always there, no matter what time it is.
Over 200 miles now separate teams on this trail. Another day grows old, and some rest and others continue their march. For those in Galena, they still have 800 miles to negotiate.
It was easy to be sour back in Ruby coming off of that. That really slowed. I was almost like powder sugar. It was just super powder sugar for miles and miles and hours and hours. It makes you dread the next hundreds of miles of Yukon River running left. And then we got on a good trail, and it was like, boom, back up into the low 8 miles per hour. I was like, wow, all right, we're right where we're supposed to be. That didn't faze us at all.
It's 8:15 on March 6th, and Jesse Holmes hits mile marker 420. He's not staying long.
Yeah, I believe I got your hook, Jesse. Thank you. Welcome to Lotto, my friend. Appreciate it. I'm just going to grab a balanced dog. Keep going. Nope, no dog. How's it going? Oh, what's going on? Too much. I was expecting to see you over in your home country. You're doing good. Thank you. Good to see you anyway. Yeah, it's good to see you too.
Michelle Phillips is on his heels. In fact, she arrives before he can leave.
So you're staying here?
Yeah, I'm going to do my 24 here.
Okay, great.
In the coming few hours, there are 5 teams hitting Nulato. But Holmes is out on the trail again, alone, heading for Keltag. It's only 36 miles away.
Just their appetite, make sure that, they want more, and make sure they get what they need. Get lots of calories, recharge, get ready for the next stretch.
It's 12:37 in the morning, and Jesse Holmes is in Keltag, 456 miles into the race. He shuts it down and will take his 24-hour rest here.
Howdy, how's it going?
Going good.
Welcome to Caltech.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's the quickest I ever got to Caltech. Walking around? Yeah, I'm 24 in here. Good for you. Nice job. We're happy to hear that, Jesse. Yeah. I have the place all to myself, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nobody on the trail. Really? Wow, cool.
Caltag was the place for me, and I knew that being conservative was part of going further, the 5-hour rest, not running in the heat of the day, get to Caltag. I'm gonna be behind when they all go through, but I'm gonna have that slingshot effect.
5 minutes after Holmes hits Keltag, 3-time champion Mitch Seavey is in Nulato, 36 miles away.
And are you going to be staying?
Yes.
So will you be staying or?
Yeah, see.
Went really well. They picked up speed again when the temperature cooled off just a little. They're pretty perky, actually. The trail was good, finally. Yeah, it was good.
You want to feed him a meal real quick and then get out of here?
Nulato now fills with teams, and they know Jesse Holmes, and they are many hours behind. But they have all taken their 24-hour rest. They remain on a conservative race plan.
Starting the race,
I felt amazing, healthy, happy. You know, everything was going too smooth, I said. And I had to say that, and lo and behold, I gave me food poisoning. And I spent literally the past 3 days puking every time I tried to eat something. Keep fluids down, but I could not eat anything. So that was really interesting. I've never done that.
Everything just kind of got thrown out the window. So, you know, it's like you just got to roll with the punches. I said it earlier, you got to run the team right in front of you. So we're running the team in front of me and taking the breaks when we need the breaks and everything else.
It's a little after 8 in the morning when Nick Petit hits Kel-Tec. He's 8 hours behind Holmes, and he too will sit for his 24-hour rest. Jesse Holmes is there to watch, and he's come to see a close friend.
That's your dog, Jesse?
Yeah, he's a yearling.
What's his name?
Bjorn.
Bjorn.
Oh, boy, I'm so proud of you.
Matt Hall likes the rest outside of checkpoints. He's on his way to Kel-Tec when we catch up to him.
You know, the dogs, they have the same mental aspect too, you know, and we can see, you know, as far as you can see, sure, it's a beautiful view. Like if this was outside of your window, like that's gorgeous. But when you're going at 8 miles an hour for nearly 1,200 miles, and 800 miles of it is that, even for the dogs, it gets old real quick. You know, like you need a fox or a moose or something way out there to run out, and you see their ears, their tails. You're like, oh boy, something different. Thank the Lord.
Rookie Emily Ford is the third team into Kel-Tec, an impressive run to this point. It's 7:37 at night.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I get to spend unlimited time with my little pack, and you know, my sled becomes kind of my house or like my mobile home almost. And I'm out here with, you know, some of the best mushers, and it's amazing to be on trail with them. You know, like I've watched them on Insider, and like we've watched almost every Iditarod documentary film, and now like I'm hanging out with them. I'm like, it's kind of cool, you know, and I'm also doing it too, so it's awesome.
With Holmes resting and nearing the end of his 24-hour layover, Paige Drobny is in Kel-Tec. She will stay just 9 minutes.
Hi.
Going through?
I am.
And when she leaves, she will be in the lead of the race.
Ready? Let's go.
An hour and 46 minutes later, Matt Hall reaches Kel-Tec. He too won't stay long.
How we doing?
Hey, Matt. Welcome to Kel-Tec.
Thank you.
You sticking around?
Doing good. I'm going through. Didn't see any wildlife, zero. There's just nothing, no excitement. It's just, you know, all the animals are in the trees and the woods on the side and the banks, not out in the complete openness. So yeah, it was very, very, very mentally taxing.
And Michelle Phillips is next.
Michelle.
Hi, how's it going?
Welcome to Kel-Tec.
Thanks. I'm gonna go through. Okay, you guys ready? Ready.
Come here, puppy. Oh, you puppy boy. You led the team into here. That was a big day for you, huh? So proud. So proud of you.
It's now time for Jesse to get his team up and get them ready to roll.
Look, you got 5 minutes. Huh? You see that? 5 minutes.
5 minutes and you can go crazy. Yeah.
So you're ready to go?
Yeah, all right. Come alive, boys.
The race tightens now, and you can get a better sense of time and where exactly everyone is. Jesse leaves in third place, but he took his long rest nearly 100 miles farther down the trail than those in front of him. He will have a fresher team over the miles ahead.
Hi, Ryan. Welcome to Caltech.
You going through?
Okay. Yep. I need about 15 minutes here.
Okay.
How many teams have left? 4 have left?
Yeah, Jesse just left.
Jesse just left?
Just right now.
Ready? Mush!
It's 70 miles to the next checkpoint of Eagle Island, and these teams in front are now experiencing tough trail conditions, possibly the toughest of the race.
It's painful, actually. It's just icy, and it's clumpy from a snow machine going over it, and then when it was wet, and then frozen, and so it's like going through jumbo ice, just like small jumbo ice, constantly for 50 miles. So it was rock hard ice that was not smooth at all. Your sled hits anything and you're bouncing off it, and it's fast too. The dogs can motor through it, so you're just on the drag mat the whole time and trying to slow them down. And I have really good knees, and my knees in Eagle Island were vibrating from 60 miles or whatever it was on that. Super painful.
So I pulled myself out of that. I mean, you just kind of know the nature of the river, but I heard there was a bunch of overflow down there, and that, you know, I know how I put plenty of trails in through overflow, and you go through, you got to bust the snow down, and the water comes up, and then it freezes, and there ain't no snow on it, and it's rough. And then it's the southern route, there's always going to be blown in trail. Seems like a good position to be in.
First is usually not a bad spot.
It's not about being first, it's about where the others are and where I am and what I'm going to do next. So. And hopefully I'm gonna go get that gold.
There's been some good spots and some terrible spots. Right now we're in one of the terrible spots. So this is the Iron Doggers, I think, put this trail in, and everything's just froze up. So it had a bunch of slush and overflow inside the trail, and it's left with the track marks. And so now it's just jagged ice all over the place. And we're trying to find little trails that go off of it just to get down to Eagle Island. I'm ready to be done with this section, 100%. Already. I think we're 46 miles into a 300-mile section. Yeah, I'd rather be doing the burn.
I missed the burn. I never thought I'd say that.
Eagle Island. There are no eagles, and it's not an island. Somewhere under there is a slough. It's remote, and that cabin is ground zero for this checkpoint. And it's a production to build this checkpoint every year. Paige Drobny remains in the lead of the race. She's the first to arrive.
Welcome to Eagle Island! Coming or going? Staying or going?
Parking is
Like,
I'm pretty sure I'm coming, but I'm gonna stay.
Okay. All right, ready? Let's go.
I mean, I think it's one of the top 10 worst trails I've ever been on, which is saying something. I've got a few thousands of miles under my belt. It's 70 miles of crap, just like hard ice. I guess it rained down here the other day, and it's been warm, and so when they put the trail in, there was water, and then it froze, and so it's just a snow machine, track that's just frozen hard.
38 minutes after Paige arrives, Jesse Holmes is in Eagle Island. He won't be staying.
So you're saying you're going to drop maybe 4?
I am, yep. That'll be five in total. Has me at a low dog number, but it has me at 11 veterans. I like that. I'm scaling everything down. I don't need it, it's going.
Tell us how great that trail was from Caltag.
What trail? A frozen trench. I mean, that was definitely the turning point where I was really like, whoa, this is really getting hard. Having spent so many miles on the Yukon, growing up, I was pretty familiarized with what we had seen so far. There wasn't anything at that point in the race yet that had really ruffled my feathers in any way. It's just river running, whether it was sand, whether it was some ice, whether it was some drifts. You've all probably seen those videos of snow machines skipping across water, and like a snow machine just hauling butt, and there it goes. You go fast enough, you got the right track on, you can drive across open water. And there's that little rooster tail kicking up behind the track, just like a regular outboard motor would do. So now picture that snow machine, that rooster tail is kicking up, but it's slush because it's mixed with snow. So just like a Slurpee at a store, it's just all of a sudden stays like that. So now you've got 50 miles and the entire thing is as if it froze in midair, frozen rooster tail from an outboard or a track sticking up. And you're stuck in that trench and your sled really doesn't fit in it. You are braking, you absolutely have to, and it's just destroying your lower half of your body, beating the heck out of your sled. I mean, I've never gone through the burn 40 miles of rocks and dirt and been as sore as that. That was rough.
What's the Canadian perspective on how that trail was coming in?
That was terrible. I've seen a lot of trail in my 22 1,000 mile races. Seen a lot of bad trail, and that was rough. It's just because, so hard. Never really been on quite that long of frozen overflow with various trails, and the poor dogs trying to figure out the right trail. But there was no right trail. It was challenging for sure.
The trail has taken its toll on Gabe Dunham. She will make Eagle Island her finish line, and she will leave the race.
There's all kinds of emotions. There's a lot of internal disappointment because we train year-round for this, and I kind of put all my eggs in one basket, and I had this beautiful dog team, and they were definitely showing off, like rolling into checkpoints, and I could barely hook down and leaving checkpoints. I felt like I was managing their rest schedule really well, but then we just kind of pulled a bad card, I guess.
Jesse will be the only team out of Eagle Island for 5 hours. He's headed towards Grayling, 56 miles farther down the trail. They are calling Grayling the official halfway point, and when he arrives, that gold is waiting for him.
Howdy. How's it going? Welcome. What a crowd. Wow. Holy mackerel. So yeah, I'm just going to try to drop off some trash here, grab my drop bag and keep going. I'll take that gold and buy you guys something nice.
Jesse, it's my privilege to present to you the Dorothy G. Page Halfway Trophy. This pays tribute to the late mother of the Iditarod, Dorothy G. Page. You know, along with this trophy, it's my privilege to give you the choice between two distinct prizes, Jesse. We have $3,000 in gold nuggets, or 1 year, or a smartphone of your choice with 1 year's worth of free GCI mobile service.
Well, I've watched this on a lot of the Iditarod Insider videos, and I've never got to experience it, so I've already made my choice, and it's the gold.
I had a feeling, so I brought you a sack of gold there, Jesse. Congratulations, man.
That's awesome. Come alive!
Good job, Jesse. Good job.
Jesse is now sticking to his race plan, and the pace of this race will seem to grow now. The Yukon is notoriously slow traveling. Those chasing Jesse know that they can't let him get too far in front, but they may not be able to do anything about it. 53 minutes after Jesse leaves, Paige Drobny finds Grayling.
Welcome to Grayling.
Hi.
Staying or going?
I'm gonna stay.
And the pack of chasers will follow her into the checkpoint.
Howdy, howdy. Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
You staying?
Yes.
Okay. Staying or going?
I'm gonna stay.
Wednesday at 11 o'clock is the end of 9 days.
At the pace they're going now, with going all the way back up the river, even with this little bit of added snow and not knowing what's going to happen on the coast, to project out, it looks like it will be a Thursday finish. We're standing at the halfway point.
I looked at the sign-in sheet when I got here, but I haven't really been paying much attention to people. I haven't been calling home. I don't have any coach or strategy. I know I'm not on the schedule I wrote, but my new schedule is do the work I have to do when I get here, take an hour for myself, and then do the work I have to do to leave.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jesse in a long time. Mitch Heavey's team is really impressive, how they eat and their attitude, and a lot of really nice looking teams. It's exciting for me to watch that. It's a pretty cool race.
All that loose snow on the river is filled in the trail since it's a low spot, so I was trying to run my dogs, just off the edge of the trail on the crust and trying to keep them moving a little better, but the last 15 miles got real blown in and slow. It's this real gritty, sandy snow.
And as you can hear, the conditions have changed again. The snow is falling and it's filling in the trail. If the wind blows, it could make travel difficult for these teams, and a slow race could get even slower. Jesse is now 600 miles into the race. He hits the community of Anvik, 21 miles in front of his competitors. He will rest.
0034. Are you staying here?
I'm staying here, yeah.
The trail was pretty snowed in and drifted in, so I just put everybody in instead of pulling the weight of, 2 dogs. And I've managed them to where they have a lot of energy, and so definitely got to make sure I keep that speed down because it ain't going to do me no favors. And the trail, it's the conditions of the trail, It's like icy and hard and from the rain and all the temperature, all the big warm spell, and then it cools down at night, and so it's a pretty hard trail. I think I just got tired a little bit an hour ago. But yeah, my feet are a little beat up from riding that brake and drag so hard.
Warmth, soggy trail, iced overflow, and now there's 4 to 5 inches of fresh snow falling on the trail.
Yeah, this race is shaping up just like I thought it would shape up, in like many manners.
the sun comes up on the Iditarod Trail, Paige Drobny and Matt Hall have closed the gap, now to within an hour of Holmes. The next checkpoint is Shagaluk, 28 miles from Anvik. It's 10:34 in the morning when Holmes finds this checkpoint.
Step up there, Kurt. Please. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Welcome to Shagaluk.
Thank you.
Good sign here.
I'm gonna just spend about 10 minutes here. Fish.
How was the trail coming in?
Good.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
A lot of moose holes. All right, ready? Straight.
52 minutes after he leaves, Drobny arrives.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome to Shagaluk. You plan on staying or going?
I'm gonna stay.
38 minutes later, Matt Hall is in Shagaluk.
Afternoon. Welcome. Sign here. You gonna stay or go? Awesome.
Really nice to see some trees. A few little stretches there. There was actually big trees, and even mushing through the willows a little bit is quite nice. So now what's left? Now that we're over 600 miles in the race, now what's left is what we do on a normal year. So there's that. That's a good thing, I guess.
It's in Shagaluk where the trail hits the end of the loop. When they find Shagaluk, it's back to Grayling, and then the race up the river to Keltag. The leaders will now be coming head-on into oncoming teams. Drobny and Hall remain on different schedules. They each stop to take their 8-hour rest and allow Holmes to go out and travel alone. It's on this run for the first time that teams will be coming head-on. Jesse Holmes and Matthew Failer are the first to negotiate this difficult pass.
Hey, we're back. You're back. Feels like it was just a little bit ago. No?
So, these are from Alaska Air Transit, the Spirit of the Award that usually goes to the first musher every year.
I'm being spoiled.
Yes.
Feeling of being the first musher over that felt like a part of history almost. Yeah, nothing unfazed him, and so I felt like, man, we're really in a good spot. I don't really quite know exactly where I'm at in the race other than I'm in front, so I think I got enough cushion probably to give a good 5-hour rest here and maybe do it in 2 runs because I want to stay where I'm at. I want to keep the pressure on. And I feel like by being that whole loop ahead, that somebody's going to have to run 28 miles longer to get up to me than their standard, whatever my standard run is. And so if my standard run is a 60, which I think they do pretty good at, then that's a pretty hard task for anyone.
Holmes is resting in Grayling 2. Many teams are taking their 8-hour mandatory Yukon rest in Shagaluk. Jesse is now 28 miles in front of those that are resting. But keep in mind, Jesse will have to do his 8-hour rest prior to his departure from Keltag. They will all see each other again.
Man, it was deep. Shoulder deep, trail breaking, tough going. We still did that loop in like 3 hours and 45 minutes for 27 miles of tough going. So I knew we were trucking right along, and then finally got to stop in a checkpoint back in Grayling that had the award. And instead of having to blow through there, that was pretty cool.
Paige Drobny is out of Shagaluk, and 15 minutes later, Jesse leaves Grayling 2, headed for Eagle Island 2, 56 miles farther down the trail.
Hi.
Easy. around swimming?
No, I'm gonna stay for 2 hours.
Kind of against physics. It was like 35 degrees, but snowing. Like not really supposed to do that. So everything was just like super sticky. Anything the snow touched, like almost I could do it now, it was just melting. But that made it a really good time to hang out for 8 hours. So if we make it all the way to Eagle Island without needing to camp, then we'll make up an hour. And if we camp, maybe we lost an hour. It's a gamble.
Just a few hours shy of his 8th complete day on this trail, Jesse Holmes is back at Eagle Island.
Jesse, good morning.
Back, Jesse.
I'd like to drop a dog and grab my drop bags and straw and eat and go.
Mile 715, he doesn't like to stay at checkpoints. And at 70 miles now back to Caltag, he'll be off the river there, but he will have to stop for 8 hours. 4 hours and 41 minutes after he leaves, the first of the chasers finds Eagle Island 2. Paige Drobny knows that Jesse has that 8-hour rest yet to take in Caltag.
Hi.
She needs to stay pace now, and this race will change complexion over the next 100 miles. And there's a large group of teams that are within reach should the front of the race falter. Holmes is camped on his way to Caltag.
Man, I feel really good. I've made some good moves to where I'm at right now. I'm about 40 miles or 39 miles from Caltag. The trail is incredible. You know, the team's just right. The run distances are just right. The speed is just right. I ain't thinking about winning at all. I'm thinking about the next step and the team and managing the team. I think that I just got to keep looking forward.
Jesse Holmes is the first team off the river. He's traveled nearly 600 miles on the Yukon. It's 9:28 at night and he has hit Caltag 2. He will now rest for his 8-hour mandatory stop. More than likely he will be passed in Caltag, but his team will be resting and building energy for these next 8 hours.
On behalf of Bristol Bay Native Corporation, we not only welcome you to Caltag, but congratulate you for being the first one and winner of $2,000 and 25 pounds of fish.
I'll tell you what, I'm more excited about the fish. All right. Probably stay out of the checkpoints and stay elusive, you know? Because I don't really know what I got for competition and what they're doing and what they're up to right now. So with that in mind, I don't want to mess around, you know? I want to try to keep the pressure on. It's hard to say that my confidence ever grew out there because I just knew how important it was to focus on each mile, and I knew how much further there was to go and how many hiccups there could be along the way. So instead of letting my confidence grow, I did what I've been doing this whole way up to the race, the whole race. I let my hunger grow. Everybody tells me you gotta be confident, and I say, no, confidence, you get complacent when you get confident. I said, nothing can mess with hunger.
It's 3:33 in the morning, day 9 of the race, and Paige Drobny is the next to leave the river. She's in Kaltag, and she will not go through.
Hi.
See you.
Nice to see you.
Stan?
I am, yeah.
You could just go over there.
An hour and 15 minutes later, Matt Hall is in third.
Running through. I'm gonna drop this wheel dog.
When he leaves, he will be in the lead, the 53rd Iditarod. With the sun up, 3 teams are on their way to Unalakleet and the Bering Sea coast. It's the longest remaining run to Nome. It's 81 miles. Many teams have made this run to the coast without stopping, but these teams know that this is the longest race in history, and it's still not time for a major push. They will all break this run up and stop.
Oh, it was so fun going through Kaltag and heading up this way and just winding through the trees, and oh, it was awesome. The moon was out, it was gorgeous. The dogs were loving it too, like, yeah, we're in the trees, there's something here.
Jesse Holmes has stopped closer to Unalakleet.
I can feel that coastal wind and smell that salt air, so close to the ocean, you know, the way I've got it figured, 4 more runs to White Mountain from here, so it's been a lot of runs. I'm in a great strategic position. Hall came through while I was on my 8, left 28 minutes ahead of me. I saw him just putting straw down at tripod cabin for his dogs, so I made up some ground while I was stopping. And, you know, now I just gotta withhold the comforts of the checkpoints and just keep running that distance, you know?
Specifically, the spot is really beautiful, and we'll be here for 5 hours, so it's a good thing. Like 4 or 5 hours is a good thing it is. But I think the fun thing about dogs, or sled dogs in particular, is that they're so resilient and so adaptable, and they never have a bad day. You know, they always show up and give 120%, and you just learn so much from them. And you know, you think you're having something going on, and you just look at them and realize that you can have a different attitude, and it turns out differently.
I have no affection for them in the race. You know, like, it's a race, and if I falter, they're not going to have any affection for me. It's not like a negative thing. I just know that, you know, I have to be so focused if I'm going to win this race, because they both want to win this race too, and they both have amazing dog teams.
I mean, I guess I don't remember the first time I met Jesse, but it was in Eagle, still running trap line, training big furry dogs. You know, he had big wild dreams of running Iditarod one day, and he joined my father and I out on the trap line for, you know, a few different runs, going out trapping.
As the leaders rest, the rest of the top 10 are in Kaltag. They are glowing and relieved to be off the river.
I'm so happy to leave the river. I felt like I felt like that was my life. Just traveling on the river, camping in wind, waking up in wind. Not a bad wind, but always a wind. You know, always that wind in your face.
Iditarod delivered a challenge still, and that was what we came here for, and we're getting it for sure.
My dogs like hitting hills, and on the river, if there's a little bank or something you got to climb. I got this iron will whistle I've done since I was a kid. And they take off and run up the hills, so maybe They like charging hills, so maybe it'll help them.
This is the most infamous portion of this trail. The Bering Sea coast is impossible to train for. Ground blizzards are the norm. The wind can blow with fierce disregard, and it's changed the outcome of many races over these 50 years. The staunch fan knows that the real race begins here. Nothing is for certain, and Jesse Holmes is well aware of how tantalizingly close he is to history, but treacherously close to a remember when story as well.
Waiting on race leader Jesse Holmes to arrive. It's a beautiful day, sun's out, lots of locals, media, race crew out here to watch Jesse come in, and we've gotten a report that he's come down off the tundra onto the river and should be here shortly.
How's it going? Good. What's your plan, bro? I was gonna go through.
Welcome to Unalakleet, and you have won the Gold Coast Award.
Wow, it's beautiful.
With an ounce of gold nuggets and beautifully made art by Mark Tepon. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Put the hammer down.
The chasers will waste no time now. If they hope to get to the top spot, they'll have to stay within range. Matt is an hour and 10 minutes behind Jesse. When Paige Drobny arrives, she is now 5+ hours off the pace.
So welcome to Unalakleet.
Thank you. I'm gonna go through.
But she rested more on the way to Unalakleet, hoping to bank some of that rest for the miles ahead.
I'm gonna go through.
Jesse has found a place in the Blueberry Hills to stop and camp. He's on his way to Shaktoolik, 42 miles closer to Nome.
I'm more than halfway through the run through the Blueberry Hills here, and yeah, the team is just coming together. They were like crushing those hills. I wasn't even having to run up them. I was just ski poling, and it was incredible. Most amazing sunset over the Bering Sea. Little strip of northern lights, and this iced up snow that the moon, it's almost a full moon, was just glistening off, and the team powering up the hills. And I was thinking about Jerry and Rick and Lance, and just feeling like they were up there cheering for me to join their little special club, you know? And yeah, it's pretty magical.
As Jesse thinks about former champions, Matt Hall has not surrendered. He's pushing for the top spot.
And we kind of had a pretty cool conversation about crazy, 15 years ago in Eagle, and here we are leading the Iditarod, And then my team just I didn't have to tell them to. They just shifted it into gear and started rolling 10, 10-2, 10-5. He was rolling a good 8-9, and they just put the pressure on themselves. They did it themselves.
Shaktoolik, mile 908. Holmes remains in the lead when he arrives.
Welcome to Shaktoolik, Jesse. You staying or going? Going through. It's going great, man. It's going better than my plan. Nice speedy team. Did a nice 5-hour rest. Got to get dried out and warm in a cabin. Get a 2.5-hour nap. Pretty good. Oh, they're good. They're good. Thank you.
Now just 11 minutes behind, Matt Hall hits Shaktoolik.
Yeah.
Welcome, Matt. What's going on here?
Hey,
Paige Drobny is just 70 minutes behind Holmes, but is still banking rest.
I'm gonna favor it a little bit.
Okay.
What time was 6:44, so I'm an hour behind.
Yeah.
Did they take straw?
You take their rest away, you were like half an hour faster.
What rest?
That they took between here and Unk.
Oh, half hour faster. Yeah, that's why I stopped. Thinking that, because these guys were like calorie depleted, so I thought if I could get some food into them and then we could chase them down. okay, here's the math problem. Like, I'm going 1 mile an hour faster than them. They're 15 miles ahead of me. Like, what do I have to do in order to close that gap? And so we did some musher math, on very little sleep. And I was like, I think if I stay here for like 2 or 2.5 hours, then I can get going and then slowly catch up to them before White Mountain.
We got a dog race that's evolving in front of us, and there's still some mystery. Obviously, Jesse Holmes is out in front, has not stopped coming across the ice. Matt Hall stopped at the shelter cabin. What do we read into these altered strategies?
It really is a tough one for me. I mean, there's a number of things that can happen, but in simplicity, I would say it's Jesse's to lose right now.
This is Koyuk. The teams will face 40 miles of open sea ice on their way here. It's a yearly, formidable section of the trail, bitter cold, and often a wind on the noses of the dogs. It's 11:31 a.m. when Holmes is off the ice.
You better know that your gear works because you're just getting hammered with like a 30, 40 lowish. But that's something definitely, like we're almost 1,000 miles into a race. If the dogs were exhausted or tired, you would definitely have problems going through something like that, I think.
He will now stop and rest his team in that warm sun. It will help rebuild energy for the miles ahead. Matt Hall arrives 5 hours after Holmes. Matt rested on the ice, so he will go through Koyuk and will take the lead of this race. Matt takes straw, indicating to Jesse that he will be stopping outside of the checkpoint to rest.
I was just running my dogs again, which is why I'm in this sport. I'm in this sport not to go try to beat everybody I possibly can. I'm in this sport to go run my dogs. And while I'm doing that, try to show and prove that I can be one of the best dog trainers in the world. I want to be able to train a dog team to do amazing things. And training a dog team to do amazing things doesn't mean you have to be the fastest every time.
Paige Drobny is just 6 minutes behind Hall. She will stop and rest in the checkpoint.
Did you not realize or see Matt out there? You were pretty close to him, but you had no idea.
No, I never saw him, and I saw like tracks that looked pretty fresh because of the way the snow was blowing, but I never saw him. I don't know, it was probably blowing like 30, 35 in there, but just enough that, it just made things a little bit trickier. I didn't come here just to run my dogs. Maybe I had something to prove with them.
You wanted to win more than you had before?
Yeah, but again, winning's not everything for me. My ego doesn't depend on, a win in this race. It's more dependent on, making sure I finish with a team that I'm proud to finish with. Yeah. And I feel like I did win this year. They did great.
15 minutes after Paige arrives and 27 minutes after Matt Hall left.
All right, come along. Hi.
Jesse Holmes is back on the trail. His team is rested, and he knows he will see Matt Hall soon.
Lucky I'll see you at White Mountain. Jesse's team's a little faster than ours, and always is, so I had to, essentially the only thing is run longer and rest less. And that's a real fine line, but I wanted to be with him at Koyuk, not with him at White Mountain, because then there wouldn't be time to get him to take a little bit shorter rest, So anyway, yeah, we caught up to him and got to say hi, and there he went. Unless Paige can do something, I don't have the gas to coast on in, and that's what we're gonna do. No way in hell I can catch him, that's for sure. He outran me, so he deserves it.
Elam is next, 50 miles down the trail. This is a tough stretch with a lot of climbs and wind to deal with, but Holmes can now smell his first Iditarod win. And as the sun sets, the Iditarod prepares to make room for another champion. The top 3 in this race have never won. In its 53-year history, only 25 different mushers have ever gotten to the finish line first. It's revered, and the winner is immortalized, as this is the greatest mushing event in the world. And in 2025, it is the longest sled dog race ever. It's 8 minutes before 11 p.m. and Jesse Holmes is 1,008 miles into the race, and his lead is growing.
That's why I stopped here, to try to make sure I don't make a mistake. We're all rookies right now at this distance, you know? None of us have run 1,150 miles or whatever it comes out to be, you know? I mean, your best bet always is to have your team as strong as you possibly can. But, you know, when I wrap up here, I'll go and check out and see where he's at. But I ain't giving up.
He will rest again and keep his team fresh and strong, making his likelihood of winning even greater. He rests for 3 hours and 30 minutes and leaves 24 minutes before Matt Hall arrives.
The hunt for Jesse's off. I can't catch him, so there's no reason to not give back to the team right now. You know, I asked a lot out of them to get to where we're at now, and I'm so proud of them. And you know, they did a lot to get here. At that point, I knew Jesse was gone. I'd accepted it with a smile. You know, it was like, all right, this is what it is. You know, this is fine. I knew we were here to race. He's got me.
Before sunrise, Jesse is on a climb called Little McKinley, named after Alaska's tallest peak. He continues to keep the engine fed.
Gave the dogs a nice treat. All the rest will pay, even the little stops like this. Was able to do 4 hours back in Elam, which was really good for the dogs. It really did something for them mentally. I feel like we don't have no pressure, so I've been stopping and like petting them and loving on them. Good job, guys. And that's another thing about this race. I made sure to enjoy every single moment out there. Not think about winning. Think about living this whole thing to the fullest. Try to not obsess about the win. That's out of my control. What's in my control is enjoying this trip more than I've ever enjoyed any other, and those sunsets and seeing those dogs thrive in their natural environment and just do so well out there and enjoy camping out. And I mean, these dogs literally watch the moon and the northern lights and the sunrise with a big smile on their face.
With the sun rising, White Mountain and a mandatory 8-hour rest is in his sights, and so is an Iditarod championship. It's a culmination of a decade of dreaming and working for Holmes. He's famous, a television star for years, but he is most at home here with his dogs, close to the earth and swallowed up by landscapes covered in snow and ice. Jesse Holmes is a throwback. He lives off the grid near Denali National Park, just he and his dogs, working and living together as one. White Mountain, 77 miles from immortality.
Hey, Jesse.
Howdy.
Welcome to White Mountain.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you are the first musher to arrive.
That's good. I'd be kind of confused if I wasn't.
Yeah.
Man, that was a smart move stopping.
At Elam?
Yeah, I was going through a range of emotions, you know?
I wondered if you thought, do I, don't I?
I was like, I don't want to risk it in some ways, but I was like, the dogs deserve it and need it. I got 4 hours and like left, and I think he was still, I don't know how far out he was, but I never saw his light.
Pretty nice lead, though.
Yeah.
He was at the stop.
So I just started stopping and petting everybody and singing for them, cheering for them, and snacking them. I went through a ton of snacks.
His competition will trickle in. He has a 3-hour and 14-minute lead on Matt Hall.
Oh, dog.
Matt.
Woo!
Welcome to
How we
Mountain.
doing?
Doing fine.
I was done chasing, couldn't catch him. There was a little bit of a buffer between me and Paige, So my camp out of Koyak, I took an extra hour from what I planned there. I took 4 instead of 3. Win by a minute, win by a mile, whatever that saying is. Like, it don't matter if he's 6 hours ahead of me or 6 minutes ahead of me, so why not just put it back into him?
So does this feel like the longest race ever?
Yeah, it is. Because it literally is.
Hi, welcome to White Mountain. Thank you.
Hey, good job. Good. Hell of a long race, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Good. All right, ready? Come alive. Straight ahead. Good. Thank you all. Woo! Straight ahead.
These 77 miles are rarely stress-free, but with a better than 3-hour lead, it's manageable. It would take an event of historic significance now to keep Jesse from the Burl Arch in first place. It's not been an easy race, but it never is. Attrition won out here for many that negotiated these miles. Iditarod champions are a select group. They're cut from a different cloth. The dogs that bring them here are like few other creatures that roam this earth. They own these landscapes. They are cherished here. They are revered here. And they belong here.
Can you believe it? It's just, the last 3 nights on the trail were like the most mind-blowing beauty I've ever seen. It was like not even being on Earth. And it was just magical. And just the endearment that I felt towards my team in those moments. And like, I just cried so much out there. And I enjoyed those moments so much. I was up in the Blueberry Hills and I was thinking about my mentors and I was speaking out loud to them during this most beautiful sunset, moon, and it was glistening off the iced up hills. And it was a really powerful night. Those last 3 nights, sunrises and sunsets, and those times where I felt the closest to God and the dogs.
Jesse Holmes wins his first Iditarod, the longest sled dog race in history. You have to go back 30 years since the last 10-day race. It will forever be remembered as a race on a river that seemed to never end. But it will also be remembered as the year that Jesse Holmes came of age on this trail. When potential joined confidence and created a destiny. A race that will find its place in history.
I'm so thankful and grateful, and it's a magical experience so far. And just knowing that my name's going to be cemented in history with all those great legends, and that I got to win the longest sled dog race in the world, the toughest one.
To hear all of the interviews done for this project and to see more amazing videos from the trail, go to Iditarod.com and become an Iditarod insider. Support the race and keep these amazing dogs fulfilling their genetic purpose. I'll see you next year on the Iditarod Trail.
Thank you.
that was difficult.
Thanks, Warren. Tough son of a gun, brother. Good to see you, Josh.
Look at that joy!
Let's go, guys!
Wow. Yeah. What a journey.
There you go, Ed. Thank you. Yeah.